there have been songs that people have connected
Yes.
to for a great deal. So let's start with Home, because that's when you wrote, and that kind of took on a life of its own.
Yeah.
So when you write a song, sorry, when you write a song like that, is it like any other, or do you kind of have a feeling like just?
Well, what's funny is with The Lost Boy, with another song, Boys in the Street, with those songs, I definitely felt like, oh, this feels like something. With Home, I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was a cool song, and it meant a lot to me. But I wasn't like, this is the one, and it was, and it somehow, yeah, like you said, it took on a life of its own and became a huge hit, changed my life. But I didn't know that was going to happen with that song.
But it's interesting you say that you did have that feeling with the other songs that you mentioned. Because how come? How did you know that those songs then were different?
It's such a weird feeling. I'll try and explain it, but when you finish a song, sometimes you oh, cool, I finished. Moving on. And then with certain songs, and I have to say, it's probably only happened 4 or 5 times in my life where I've finished a song and been like, I've given myself goosebumps, and I'm like, ooh, this is a good sign. This must be good. And out of those 5 songs, 4 of them have done really well. So, but I don't know. It's just a feeling you get. Cockiness.
Helps.
I don't know.
You can't hurt, I suppose. In that sense, because I want to get into the songwriting a little bit more. Do you have to be in a specific mood? Do you have to be in a certain? I mean, I hear from certain people that they write better when they're sad. I hear they need to be alone or whatever. So
yeah, it's always it's a moving thing, because I used to always be. I used to feel the most creative when I was sad, and I would just wander around feeling sorry for myself and then write some sad song. But it changes. I'm older now. I've learned a lot about songwriting, so now I'm able to sit down and tap into it a bit more, like on command. Not always, but I can sit down in a good mood in my house with the sun shining and write something good. It hasn't always been that way, but I think that's just through experience and learning how to write. And I also used to write a lot better on my own, and I hated writing with people. Now I actually kind of like the company. It helps me focus. It helps me stay open to different ideas, because sometimes when I'm on my own, I get trapped in one mindset, and I'm not able to get out. So.
This might sound very vague, but what are you looking for in a song when you start writing? Are you looking for a certain thing, or?
I'm looking for something that means something, either to me or to somebody else. It's very hard for me to just, like, if someone was like, write a song about touring, what would I say? I mean, I'm in a car, driving around. Like, it doesn't mean anything. It has to have an element of darkness, I think, which, is to the detriment of my career, probably. Like, it has to be kind of dark. And sometimes when I sit and I play my set, I'm like, oh my God, these songs are all so sad. But that's why I write music, and it's hard for me to just switch that off.
But I was going to say, once you have written them, obviously you also perform them. So do you get back into that mood? And
definitely, yeah, definitely. When I'm singing them, I do feel them, yeah.
And
unless I'm hungover.
Fair enough.
I'm really phoning it in.
But then I think if we look at the new songs, then you've released a couple of songs lately. For instance, On the Run. Well, we all almost covered it, that idea of running away a little bit already.
yeah, right.
But this was more of an apology song in a way for many things. So do you remember writing this, and what kind of feeling it was?
It's funny, I wrote it, and the lyrics just sort of came out, and I wasn't trying to say anything, I just was rolling with what was coming out. And when I finished it, I didn't really know what it was. And it was only actually 6 months later when somebody asked me what the song was about, and I tried to wing it, honestly. I tried to make something up, and actually it made complete sense. And I realized, because sometimes that happens. Sometimes you write a song and you don't know why, and then it just started to make sense. And I was like, oh yeah, this is totally an apology to anybody that I've screwed over in the past, or been rude to, or, not done the right thing for. And, I'm not a bad person, I don't do that very often, but for me, I do carry a lot of, weight of my past, and I think that's what it was to me.
Because I can imagine, you mentioned, I can't remember, your wife or fiance?
Yeah.
Um, because what kind of sacrifice do you have to make in a way to pursue this musical dream?
I mean, yeah, it's funny because half of our relationship I was on the road the entire time. And half of it I've been off the road the entire time. So we've had both. You know, when we first met, I was gone 10 months of the year, and that's how our relationship was. And it's hard, you know, because you have to spend so much time apart, and it's a cliche of touring, but it's just, I don't know, it's just something that you have to figure out.
And this is a little bit of a mean question then, but what makes it worth it in a way? What makes it worth going out there and
I don't know.
But I can imagine.
I mean, playing shows, yeah. Like, it's funny because the last couple of years have been quite difficult for me because I haven't been touring and I've lost a little bit of the drive to really pursue it. And I was really starting to freak out because I thought that I was going to give up again for like the 5th time in my career. I was like, is this the end? And then the first show of this tour was in Hamburg, and the first song everybody started singing along, and I honestly like started getting emotional because I was like, oh yeah, this is the thing that I haven't had for a while, and I needed this. This is what fulfills me. Staying at home writing songs doesn't. All that does is gives me that live moment, and that's what it means to me. And if that live moment goes away, it means nothing to me.
Do you remember one of your best performances? Can you take me back to one of your...
Yes, yes. I played a show in Germany with some friends of mine. They're in a German pop rock band called Revolverheld. And they're a huge band there. And we played this, I opened for them at this stadium in Cologne. And it was like 15,000 people, and I played Boys in the Street there. And the entire venue went quiet, and everybody got their phones out with the torchlight, and the entire venue lit up, and it was just like, I cannot explain how good that felt. And I've never had that again, but man, I want that.
That's what you're chasing?
Yeah, I mean, that was just, you can't even explain that feeling. It's just, I'll never ever forget that moment.
Finally then, your latest song, Power Shift. I'm guessing it's about what's going on in the world.
Yeah, how did you guess?
Well... What's
going on in the world? I've not noticed anything different, have you?
But writing a song like that, and well, you mentioned Boys in the Street, which has a certain political element, I suppose. So writing Power Shift, what was the intent with that song?
I think that was me just pissed. Okay. I was just venting. I'd been on a Twitter rampage, and I ended up deleting all my Twitter and my tweets and everything because I realized that I was just yelling like everybody else, and it wasn't helping. And I just thought I need to write something because me tweeting is just making it worse, I think. And so I just sat down, and that song just came out. And I guess it is political, yeah. It's I don't know exactly what it means and what it's trying to achieve, but that was just the way I felt at the time and what I wanted to say. And I don't know whether people will connect to it or what, but it was just, I needed to say it.
Well, what I find interesting, especially you saying I needed to say it, because I've been doing this job for a while, for a couple of years, and especially this year, more and more of these kinds of songs keep popping up. So
Which is good. Finally, people are writing about it.
So is it almost becoming inevitable that because the world is so globalized, that part of our own opinions kind of seep through in the music?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I was beginning to lose hope in music for a while because nobody was saying anything, and all this shit was going on, and no political songs were on the radio. I mean, remember the 60s, like Creedence Clearwater Revival and like Bob Dylan, they were all over the radio playing these political songs, and then now here we are with all this crap going on, and we still have the same old bubblegum pop out there. And I'm like, does nobody want to say anything? Look at the huge voices that people have, like Ed Sheeran and Taylor Swift and all these guys. Like, come on, say something. You know, you have such a voice. You can reach somebody. I'm so small. Like, I say something and few people hear it, but like, I don't know. I want bigger artists to say something, whether they will or not.
Do you think they will? If this kind of
Probably make
this
too
line-
much money from not.
Probably.
But that's their thing.
Very last question. These couple of songs, are they a prelude towards an album?
Yeah, I've been recording a lot of songs. For the first time, I've been producing my own stuff properly. I used to produce demos and stuff, and that's actually what The Lost Boy ended up stemming from. But this is the first time I've sat down and been like, I'm going to put together, a collection of songs. So I wrote 50 songs, and right now I'm just in the process of choosing which ones. But yeah, there'll be an end result, which will either be an extended EP or a full-length album. Hopefully around Christmas time.
Well, looking forward to it.
Yeah,
Greg,
me too.
thank you very much for your time.
Thanks. You always ask such great questions, so thanks so much. Yeah.